This just in, there's a brand new stimulus bill that was just proposed, giving Americans tons and tons of money. In fact, this might be the highest amount of money we've ever seen in a proposed bill. I know we've seen this bill and that bill, and nothing has yet come up about a second bill actually being passed. But I wanted to give you guys an update on this brand new bill that proposes $2,000 per month for most Americans, including children. So let me give you guys a rundown of this bill, which is called the Monthly Economic Crisis Support Act. And this bill was actually proposed by 3 senators, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, and Ed Markey. This bill wants to give $2,000 per month to all eligible Americans. So this would also mean $4,000 in total for couples that are filing jointly, and an additional $2,000 per child, up to 3 maximum children. Guys, let me stress that this is per month. This is not just a single payment of $2,000. This is gonna be a recurring $2,000 per month payment. And this means that a family of 4 would receive $8,000 per month. I do believe this is the highest dollar amount we've seen on any of these new proposals, especially when you are considering the amount of cash that this bill is proposing. The Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act that was proposed before would certainly give more money to millionaires and billionaires and people that just earn a lot of money, as that bill proposed covering everyone's rent and mortgage. This is a better balance of being more likely to actually go to people who will need the money. So now, how long would these payments actually go on for? According to the bill, these payments would be retroactive to March 1st, 2020. So say this bill passes at the end of May. That would mean that this bill would actually provide you these $2,000 per month payments for a total of 3 months before it was actually passed. That is a lot of retroactive back pay. And then from there on, it would last the entire duration of the coronavirus pandemic, plus an additional 3 months. To define the certain date that this pandemic actually ends, they will rely on the Secretary of State and Human Services for the exact timeline. Kamala Harris said, "The coronavirus pandemic has caused millions to struggle to pay the bills or to feed their families." And she also added, "The Monthly Economic Crisis Support Act will ensure families have the resources they need to make ends meet. I am eager to continue working with Senators Sanders and Markey as we push to pass this bill immediately." Now, the question that everyone is thinking, who will be eligible to get these payments? Based on the income eligibility requirements, there are 3 different cases. If you are a single filer, you'll need to have an adjusted gross income of $100,000 or less to get this full $2,000 per month payment. If you make more than that, you may receive a prorated amount. If you're the head of a household, then the income requirement is an AGI of $150,000 or less. And just like with a single filer, you might receive a prorated amount if you make more than that. And finally, for a joint return for married individuals, if you make under $200,000 AGI, then you will receive the full amount. And they're the same rules with the prorated amount as well. I have seen mixed things about the prorating rules, but it seems like for every dollar you make above the AGI requirement, they'll deduct 10% of that above amount from your monthly payment. For example, if you are a single filer making, let's say, $105,000 per year, you are making $5,000 above that 100K limit. So 10% of that $5,000 is $500, so your monthly payments would be $1,500. Note that technically means that if you make $120,000 or more, you should be seeing no monthly payments. Now, other than income, what else are they looking for the eligibility? Well, first things first, this bill is trying to give every US resident access to these payments, regardless of whether or not they have filed a recent tax return or have a social security number. So this would include undocumented immigrants who do contribute to taxes but do not yet have a social security number. So in effect, this means that a ton of people would be eligible for these payments. It is one of the most inclusive bills proposed to date. Based on the reports, over 90% of working people in America make under $100,000 per year. This means that about 150 million Americans would receive the full $2,000 payments if this bill were to pass. Note that the actual number will be a lot higher because this does not include unemployed people and social security beneficiaries. So we're probably looking at around $350 to $400 billion of payments per month to Americans. And how will they catalog these people and make sure that they are eligible? Well, they've said that they will use data from different agencies and cross-reference them. Okay, now going back to the bill. how will they actually pay people? Like a lot of the other bills that have been proposed, they are saying that they want to use direct deposit payments for most Americans as long as they have their direct deposit information available from the IRS. If they don't have the direct deposit information, then they might consider using debit cards or maybe even just mailing checks to people on a monthly basis. Now, the big question is, will a bill like this likely pass? Personally, I think that it's unlikely that any bill will pass without any major revisions or negotiations being done. The cool thing is that this bill has a lot of support and is endorsed by a fair amount of groups. The general consensus is that a $1,200 one-time payment is just simply not enough for Americans. And that's why we've been seeing these really generous bills being proposed. I think they are just aiming high because they know that the actual bill that will be signed will likely be less. Right now, $350 to $400 billion per month in stimulus payments is an insane amount of money. And to be frank, there's just not enough money allocated to support these payments. For example, let's say that the pandemic lasts 6 more months and this bill will actually pay 3 months beyond that. That's a total of 9 months of payments, equaling as high as $3.6 trillion. Obviously, that's more than the entire $2.2 trillion CARES Act that was passed in late March. So you can see that this bill is quite high, and it is unlikely that they would give out this much money for all these Americans. Let's say there's a family of 3, right? They would receive a total of $6,000 a month, equating to $72,000 a year, which is actually higher than the median US income of about the low 60,000s per year. If you want to read the whole bill, I will include a link to it in the description below. It details everything that they are proposing, and it's an interesting read. Oh, and if you like investing in free money, make sure to sign up for WeBull, because when you open up an account and deposit $100 or more, you will get 2 free stocks worth up to $1,400. It's the last few days before they change this promotion down to just 1 free stock, so make sure to jump on it fast. They're a great trading platform. I use them personally, and they are easy to use, and they are completely free as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've been following my videos for these stimulus updates, it really means a lot to me. Please support this video by sharing it with a friend who'd benefit from this information, and also like and subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. I also make tons of videos about investing, personal finance, and entrepreneurship. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.